When it comes to recent NBA feuds, James Harden and Giannis Antetokounmpo instantly come to mind. Both were in the MVP race trying to lead their teams to titles. However, what started as a lighthearted joke quickly escalated during the 2020 All-Star Weekend. Giannis threw some shots at Harden, sparking an intense back and forth. Harden couldn't stand him, and this tension carried into future games. Therefore, what did they actually say to each other? We're going to break it all down in this video, including every possible conversation. Let's get into it. It all began in 2014. James Harden was coming off a great individual season, averaging 25 points and 6 assists per game. He led Houston to the 4th seed in the West, but they clashed in the playoffs. They lost in the first round to a Damian Lillard buzzer beater. Meanwhile, Milwaukee was going through a rebuilding phase. They had just drafted Giannis Antetokounmpo with the 15th overall pick. Although he was a raw prospect, he showed great promise. The Bucks began the 2014-15 season with a 10-7 record, setting the stage for November 29, 2014. The Houston Rockets faced off against the Milwaukee Bucks in the second night of a back-to-back. The game was close up until James Harden took over. He scored 19 points in just the third quarter alone. The Bucks had no answer for him, which is when Giannis took the challenge. With 3:20 left in the fourth quarter, Harden took him one-on-one but was called for an offensive foul. Harden couldn't believe it, saying, "What?" However, Giannis had to let him know. Larry Sanders came in to defend Giannis and started pushing Harden. He said, "Chill, chill bro, chill." Then Sanders asked Giannis if he was good, which he replied with yes. Sanders told Harden that he was doing too much, and Harden responded, How? Man, watch out. Since a lot was going on, the referees held a long review. That's when James Harden said this to the commentators. Ultimately, 3 technical fouls were given, but nothing escalated after this. The Rockets won the game by 14 points, with Harden finishing with 34. Now, it wasn't until 2019 when these two will have their next exchange. During a normal matchup in January, this happened. Just the fact that a 3 was made after this pass makes this 10 times better. However, Harden just laughed it off after the game.
Did you see that pass coming? That was fastball pass that knocking you in the head.
Hell no, I didn't see it coming. It hurt. I didn't even know what happened. I think the ball somehow came back into his hands, and I didn't know how it happened. But no, I wish I would have seen it.
He simply apologized right away.
I don't need an apology. I wish I would have saw it.
As you saw, both seemed to be on good terms. They brushed it off completely and just moved on to their next game. However, when the 2019 MVP was announced, things got heated. James Harden concluded the 2019 season with crazy numbers. He averaged 36 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists per game. That's not even the craziest part. He had 28 games with 40 plus points, a 5-game stretch where he averaged 52 points, 32 consecutive games with 30 plus points, and scored 61 points twice. Those were historic numbers, and Harden became a frontrunner for the MVP award. However, Giannis ended up becoming the winner. He led Milwaukee to the best record in the league, averaging 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists per game. This was definitely a close race, and it could have gone either way. Still, that didn't stop the Rockets' social media team from posting this. The post caused a lot of controversy, and they quickly deleted the tweet. Harden was asked about the results in a radio show and said this:
One for the books. Even when I'm going, even when I'm going, they're gonna talk about it. But it's not.
Did you get hot? Were you mad during that?
It's out of my control. I think once the media they create a narrative about somebody from the beginning of the year, I think they just take that narrative and then run with it the entire year. Like, I don't even want to get into the details, but all I can do is control what I can do, and I went out there and did what I was supposed to do at a high level. You know what I'm saying? A season probably. It's only a few other seasons that anybody's ever done that before, you know. So,
dude, every night on ESPN they were saying, "Oh, he just did this record.
Yeah, I think
he won this record.
And people
30 in a row.
People were tuned in on to how many points that I was going to score the next game. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a thing.
Shortly after, Giannis responded to these comments and said, quote, "That's their opinion. They're gonna have James's back. The trophy's in my house." In other words, Giannis knew he deserved it and wasn't buying any of what Harden said. Now, their next matchup occurred on October 24th, 2019. This was the first regular season game between the two teams, and Harden didn't waste any time. After Giannis airballed a three in the first quarter, Harden flinched. He was taking this matchup personally, but Giannis got him back with a block. Then in the third quarter, Harden got Giannis with a hesitation and drew a foul. He was pumped up, saying, "Oh shit. Oh shit." Basically, he was implying that Giannis couldn't guard him. However, this will end up backfiring. Harden struggled offensively, shooting 2 for 13 from the field and 1 for 8 from 3. Meanwhile, Giannis finished with a triple-double and led Milwaukee to a 6-point victory. After the game, Harden was asked if Milwaukee's defense had anything to do with his shooting struggles.
You said you weren't aggressive enough. How much of that is
It's me. It's me. I can get any shot I want.
Clearly, Harden was trying his best to not give Milwaukee their credit. That resulted in Giannis throwing shots at Harden. In this same game they just played, 14 out of Harden's 19 points came at the free throw line. This started to become a trend for Harden, with fans saying stuff like this. With that in mind, Giannis was frustrated with the way the game was officiated. In an interview with ESPN, he said, quote, "In the NBA, the way it's built, they want you to flop. It wants you to be weak, kind of, because sometimes I think when you're strong and you're going through contact, they don't call the foul. But when you're flopping and kind of going into the contact and throwing the ball out, they're just going to call foul, but that's not who I am. That's not what I'm gonna do." These were indirect shots at Harden, who was averaging 12 free throws per game. Sometimes he even managed to attempt 20 plus free throws in a game, which is just crazy. That sets the stage for February 6, 2020. Giannis Antetokounmpo and LeBron James were picking their teams for the All-Star game. With 2 selections left, Giannis had James Harden, Kemba Walker, and Trae Young on the table. Giannis was taking a while to make a decision, leading to this exchange.
I'm between Kemba and Trae Young.
Wait, you
But
don't
I gotta
want
go-
you don't want the dribbler?
I want somebody that's gonna pass the ball. That's what I want.
Giannis ended up picking Kemba Walker, leaving James Harden to LeBron's team. Although it seemed like Giannis was trolling, he took his comments even further after the All-Star game concluded.
Offensively, we were just trying to, find whoever James Harden was guarding. That's who we thought we're gonna have the opportunity to score on. And obviously, you cannot go wrong. Kemba, Kyle, Joel, me, Siakam, everybody's great players.
That right there didn't sit well with Harden since he felt disrespected. Team LeBron actually won the game, so Harden didn't understand the joke. During an interview with Rachel Nichols, he shared his response.
Giannis Antetokounmpo makes a joke on the air about, I want to take someone who can pass. I'm taking Kemba Walker instead of James Harden.
I average more assists than him, I think. I don't see what the joke is, but I didn't even see it. I don't pay attention to stuff like that. I just know none of them can mess with me. But I wish I could just run and with 7 feet and run and just dunk. Like that takes no skill at all. I gotta actually learn how to play basketball and how to have skill, I take that any day.
I've never seen Harden act like this before, and Giannis quickly set the record straight.
He hasn't been back and forth. Like I'm not that type of guy. I've never tried to take stabs on somebody. Maybe sometimes I might come out like that, but I'm definitely not. I'm just trying to do my job, which is win games and go back home to my family and my kids. If that's what he believes. That's what he believes. I can say anything about it.
Now, even though Giannis tried to not make this a big deal, he gave a more detailed response here.
My game is not just power, for sure. I came in, when I was 18, I was 180 pounds, so power through big guys, it's kind of tough. But obviously, there's gonna be times that you gotta power through guys. One of the best players, LeBron, Michael Jordan, Kobe, all those guys, Shaq, all those guys, they were extremely physical with their play. They made their presence felt in the paint. Obviously, I tried to work in my game, mid-range shots, threes, being able to screen and roll faster, make the right pass. I'm still adding, and hopefully when I add all those things in my game, I'm a more complete player.
This tension right here ended up carrying into the NBA bubble. On August 2nd, 2020, they faced off for the first time since these interviews. The game was neck to neck, but Harden was huge in the final minutes. With Houston down 1, Harden stripped Giannis, leading to a Westbrook layup. Just a few seconds later, Giannis took Harden one-on-one, but wasn't as successful. He struggled to generate offense, and the Bucks didn't score in this possession. Then with 20 seconds left, Harden cut Giannis off and forced a turnover. He was pumped after this play since Giannis was his main critic defensively. The Rockets ended up winning by 4 points, with Harden scoring 24. After the game, he was asked about his matchup against Giannis.
Giannis in the past said that his team's plan was to go at you defensively. Did you prove something with your defense in those possessions?
No, I don't have nothing to prove to anybody. Nothing to say. At this point, I don't care what people are negative energy. I don't pay attention to it.
How difficult it was to defend Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Next question.
Harden really couldn't stand Giannis and tried to eliminate as much media attraction as possible. In the 2021 playoffs, they faced off in the second round. Brooklyn took the first 2 games, but Harden was dealing with a hamstring injury. He didn't play in 3 straight games, but was still supportive on the sidelines. Now here's when he became annoyed. At the time, Giannis took about 10 plus seconds to shoot a free throw. When Harden saw this in game 4, he was in disbelief. Then when he returned to Milwaukee in Game 6, he let his frustration out. It's crazy that Giannis still does this until this day, but Harden didn't stop there. In Game 7, the crowd started chanting the time it took Giannis to shoot. Harden still couldn't believe that a violation wasn't called, and when Giannis airballed, he flinched again. This routine was starting to mess with Giannis, but he had the last word. Milwaukee won the series and later advanced to the NBA Finals. They beat the Phoenix Suns in 6 games, becoming the NBA champions. After the series concluded, Giannis took another indirect shot at Harden.
Like, it's easy to go somewhere and go and win a championship with somebody else. It's easy. I could go, like, I don't want to put anybody in the spot, but I could go to a super team and, just do my part and win a championship, still one. But this is the hard way to do it, and this is the way. And we did it. Fucking did it. We did it, man.
Jim on the front right.
In the end, Giannis was able to beat all odds, and Harden really couldn't say anything. In the season opener, Harden was forced to watch Giannis get his ring. When the game began, Harden gave a hard foul to Giannis in transition. This was the icing on the cake as Giannis concluded the beef with a run and dunk. These two haven't exchanged words ever since, and they seemed to be on better terms. And that pretty much concludes the video. What do you guys think of this beef? Do you think Harden will win a ring before he retires? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I hope everyone has a great day. Peace out.